Sis.
How are you?
I'm so well. It's Claire. I'm Claire from the Screenlately show. We're going live
Wonderful to meet you, Claire.
on Choice FM. It's an absolute honor, sis. And listen, I went to see the movie this Saturday, VIP screening, with my 1-year-old and my 3-year-old. And that was an experience in itself. But what really gave me so much joy and it made me think about my childhood was that my 3-year-old was saying, Mommy, she's astronaut. And I thought to myself, I don't think as a child, I'm 36, when was we seeing children, ourselves on the screen in that way? And I just wanted to kick off our questioning today by asking you, like, how important do you feel that it is for Black girls to see themselves in what we would traditionally say is a masculine environment, space, astronauts, taking charge, ruling the world, leading the pack? What would you say, the film does for young Black girls watching?
Man, I think like you said, the representation of being in the space, it then allows us to see ourselves in that space. It's great that it's that way, but it's also hard, right? Because you don't really know that you can do something until you see someone similar to you doing it. And so that's why representation is so important, because that's kind of gives you that extra push to visualize you in that career or following that dream. And so with Izzy, it's like not only do we get a person of color, we get a Black person, but we get a Black woman. So it's doubly, you know what I mean? You get to see a female in charge, and then you get to see a Black female in charge, and also getting the respect, whether, coming from Izzy, but also her grandmother, Alisha, who had all the respect in the world, which is why she was such a huge inspiration to Izzy.
100%. And is that what kind of attracted you to the script in the first place?
Yeah, definitely. Disney Pixar, that attracted me to it. Buzz Lightyear, I'm a big fan of Buzz. I'm a fan of Toy Story. And I just knew that the project would be great. I think for me, with Disney and Pixar, as I've continued to grow up with them, they've always continued to make sure that they follow the evolution of the time. And let's represent everybody on screen. Let's make sure that all the faces and the people that have always been there get the prominent, the real respect and prominence that they deserve.
Amazing. And I could notice through the film that there's a lot of morals. Disney have a beautiful way of kind of slipping it in so that the adults are like, I'm leaving the cinema, checking myself,
Yeah.
I really thought about the theme of team spirit. And it made me think about where we are right now, kind of coming out of a 2-year lockdown where we've all been really kind of like separate from each other. What do you think the film kind of says about that team spirit, camaraderie, working together?
I think the movie is so much about teamwork, so much about it, and also not being afraid to ask for help, which is something I think we all feel worrisome about, especially if we're usually in leadership positions or we feel like, that is a sign of quote unquote weakness, when actually it's more so a sign of weakness to not be able to reach out and say when you need help. A true leader knows when he has to or she has to reach out to someone else and say, okay, you know what, things are getting scary, okay, wait, I need you. And they know how to collaborate. That is really what you need in a leader. And so I love that in the movie that it showcases also being a leader means a lot of different things at a lot of different times, and being able to figure out what that is, which is why it's not easy.
That's true. And obviously Buzz is kind of fighting himself in a way, old versus new, and that's obviously age. But again, I think there's sort of like a rebirth that somebody goes through. And I think what you're touching on with regards to that leadership quality, who I was, who I am, sometimes those old tricks aren't going to work for the future.
Yeah. And I think that goes into when it comes to, again, Disney Pixar, they know how to create something that allows you to take so many messages and then they all come together at once, because old versus new, representing the new time, moving forward, all of that connects to the overarching, concept as it pertains to also representation and all these different people being seen in the film and different positions of power and leadership and what it means to be a hero. And, it doesn't always mean you standing in the front, all of that stuff. It all just ties together in such a really cool way.
Beautiful. And Keke, in terms of kind of more representation on screen for women in STEM, science, maths, is that something that you'd want to do personally in a sense of maybe direct or produce in the future?
I mean, I really would love to direct. I directed my first film this past year, wrote it as well, and I really look towards the future to being able to produce more and just be more behind the camera. I love being in front of the camera as well, but I really am excited to, just evolve behind the camera and tell stories in a different way. So that really excites me for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Superb. And is there anything that's coming up as well this summer that we should know about, or?
I guess the main thing outside of what obviously Lightyear, which I'm very excited about, is Nope, the movie that I just did with Jordan Peele and Daniel Kaluuya. I'm very excited about that movie as well, and can't wait for to be able to share that with the world.
Beautiful. Keke Palmer, thank you so much for joining us on the Screenlately show. Absolute blessing. And everybody go and see the movie. It's in cinemas this Friday, the 17th of June. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We love you. Take care.
I love you too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.